Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome on back. Hope that you're doing well, feeling good, finding yourself at a good place, a good state of mind. As today, we dive into a little bit from the Grateful Dead. We're listening to this track, Unbroken Chain. This is off of their album From the Mars Hotel, their seventh studio album, which was released in 1974. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by Mark. Mark, thank you so much for the request. I appreciate the support as well. Truly appreciate that. We've actually listened to one track from this album, and that was the first song that we actually checked out from the band, which was Scarlet Begonias. That was many years ago. And that's it. We've listened to Box of Rain, but of course that's not off of this particular album. So I'm excited to kind of dive back into them. So let's go ahead and do some diving. We'll naturally discuss the music a little bit after. Play me out.
Familiar faces in an empty window pane.
Great bass player.
Listening for the secret, searching for the sound. But I could only hear the preacher and the baying of his hound.
It's a very tingly sound that came in. I love that sound that comes.
Ride you out on the cold railroad and nail you to a cross.
Bass playing a lot.
They're telling me forgiveness is the key to every door. A slow winter day and that lag forever seemed like a storm, flowed like a feather.
That's a nice break here. cool psychedelic section. What a unique sound that. Can't even tell what that is. Shoot right out of it. Cool it all down.
Lilac rain, unbroken chain, song of the saw-whet owl.
Nice switch there.
Out on the mountain, it'll drive you insane, listening to the winds howl. Unbroken chain of sorrowing girls, unbroken chain of sky and sea, unbroken chain of the western wind, unbroken chain of you and me.
What a perfect track. Like, every single moment of this song, every single 5 seconds or so, you're finding something that you can like. And I'm finding a lot I can like in this one. So it's called Unbroken Chain, and I like how the track has a certain resilience to it. It has a certain consistency among it as well. The vocals and the guitar playing are fantastic. That's going to be, of course, Jerry Garcia here. Obviously, I'm not overly familiar with him, but absolutely fantastic in his guitar playing and his singing. Can I tell you, some of the way that he's playing guitar, because there's a deep kind of soulfulness to the music in here, and it kind of leans towards a psychedelic soul as well when it gets to that break with some really unique synthesizers. Can I tell you really quick that his guitar playing, in some capacity, especially when it relates to like the jazzier bits and the way he picks, you can't tell me. One of the best albums, by the way, of all time. But you can't tell me that there is not a little bit of Wes Montgomery influence in some capacity in his playing. But I love that. I think that it makes the music soar. It has a soulfulness. It also provides a melody that is just so perfectly placed in the music that it continually elevates it. At every single twist, at every single swing, it always brings something new to the table. I almost choked. And I love the way that the band comes together. I'm talking specifically guitar and bass, and then eventually piano in the beginning. It's a really nice way of kind of leading everything in, starting off, maybe not scattered is the right word, but slightly separate. The piano comes in and kind of leads the guitar and bass into the unfolding of the rest of the track, which I think is a great way to kind of start everything off. And then they also revisit that particular state later on. Here, before that. Like, this is a great opening with guitar and the bass there. Eventually, piano comes along with it, and like I said, kind of starts the song there. And it's just a cool, laid-back groove, right? We got that. But later on, drummer Bill Kreutzmann really brings it. As we get into the later section, which I got to mention, that synthy sound, that tingly sound that comes in. Yeah, he's already starting to build up a little bit on the snare at that particular point. You hear extremely subtly, but then eventually he kind of starts to roll it up there. And I really like the way that he controls the volume specifically in that particular section. Okay, but let me talk about the synth in this song. So on this particular track, synths are credited to Ned Lagan. Now, I can't say that I've heard of Mr. Lagan, but I'm pulling up his Wikipedia page really quick just so we can at least learn a little bit. It's an American artist, photographer, scientist, composer, and keyboardist. Lagan is considered a pioneer in the development and use of mini computers and personal computers in real-time stage and studio music composition and performance. He's known for his electronic music composition Sea Stones and, of course, for performing with the Grateful Dead. And can I tell you, I'm assuming that that's him that brings in this very unique sound into the music, which here you heard a little bit there. I'm just trying to catch it when it's more present. The way that it kind of seeps into the music, it has this really interesting sound that I don't know if I've heard that particular sound before when it comes to keyboards or synths or anything like that. It almost made me think something was happening outside. It's this very high-pitched, like I said, tingly is the best way to describe it, kind of sound that just kind of seeps into the music, and by the time you notice it, it's gone. It disappears. It's like cotton candy, just in musical terms. But then, of course, in that break, it comes right on back in a different way, which is really, really cool. And you know what's cool about that sound? The production is really nice because that's a sound that could almost be annoying. And if it stayed just a little bit longer, maybe it would be. That high pitch, I feel like it's just below the limiters of annoyance, but it stays beneath that. And so it adds this kind of cool flavor to it. It's like, I don't know, let's just say, for example, wasabi, right? Wasabi is an ingredient that's a strong ingredient, but you put the right amount in to whatever dish you're having, sushi or otherwise, and it makes it, explode in the greatest way possible. But you put a little too much, and you don't want it anymore. I feel like that sound in here is kind of like musical wasabi. This break, a nice way of kind of bringing back the intro, but twisting it as well. And they play very, very psychedelic there. That is like them playing in separate hemispheres, but in the middle is where all those cross-spheres happen between them, and it makes sense. For something so messy, it makes sense. And then it comes soulfully back in. Soulfully back in. That synth in there, or those keys rather, it's like the same tone. It sounds like Green. Who's that Canterbury rock band? Green Slade. It sounds like Green Slade. Those particular keys, like the sound of them especially, which is pretty good to me. It sounds pretty good to me. This was a really, really nice track. And honestly, I really think that it's kind of a perfect track from beginning to end. There's not a moment in here wasted, and everything works really well. Blue Light Rain, Unbroken Chain, looking for familiar faces in empty window pane. In an empty window pane. Listening for the secret, searching for the sound, but I can only hear the preacher and the baying of his hounds. Willow sky, I walk and wonder why. They say love your brother, but you will catch it when you try. Roll you down the line, boy, drop you for a loss, ride you out on a cold railroad, and nail you to a cross. November and more as I wait for the score. They're telling me forgiveness is the key to every door. A slow winter day, a night like forever. Sink like a stone, float like a feather. Lilac rain, unbroken chain, song of the saw-wheat owl. Out on the mountain, it'll drive you insane, listening to the winds howl. He's been driven out, chased, as he says, by preacher and hound. They say forgiveness will set you free. Well, he's trying to find that forgiveness, but he's not finding it. Unbroken chain of sorrow and pearls, unbroken chain of sky and sea, unbroken chain of the western wind, unbroken chain of you and me. Nothing can break this connection, this chain of sorrow and pearls. Swine before pearls, sadness and perhaps a reward. So perhaps he's saying that there is a link between, for lack of better words, suffering and salvation. That's kind of what I see, or get rather. It says here that they speak about on this song is a chain of events, particularly a chain of sad events that seem to drag on and on throughout the life of our protagonist. I can see that. I like what I said better. And also, can I just say, I really like the album cover. I know that it came up while the musical was playing, but I really like the album cover. It's just like a cool psychedelic. It almost has a Roger Dean-esque kind of feel to it, but I think it looks really cool. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought, of course, in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for joining me, for watching, hopefully enjoying the music alongside with me. Mark, thank you so much for the recommendation. I appreciate the supports and the request, and hope that you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for being here. Come back tomorrow, and I will see you all then. Bye, guys.